questions.
Okay, well, back at work this week, and there's a lot of work to do. And I think our coaches and players understand that we've got to dig ourselves out and grind this thing out to the end of the season. And, there's mistakes made in the past game that we got to get corrected. And all of us got to put in the hard work to get it done. I do think we fought back and gave ourselves a chance, and then just had some silly mistakes that didn't go our way, which was our fault at the end. So excited about this opportunity to play the bucket game. Indiana's playing at a high level. They're well coached. They're playing hard. They got a lot of confidence. They got a lot of big wins. Anytime you hold Wisconsin to no touchdowns, it means you're doing a lot of good things. So very good on defense, very aggressive, give you a lot of different looks, attack the quarterback from a lot of different areas, and challenge on every play. And then on offense, two solid receivers, a very good tight end, a big solid running back, and they control the football and don't make mistakes. So, that's how they've won their football games. They've done a very good job of it. So we've got to be up to the challenge and go down there and compete and play as hard as we can for 60 minutes.
Okay, Mike, why don't you start us off?
Hey, Jeff, was there anything defensively that you can build on from last game, or is it kind of similar to what's happened the last few games?
Well, we've got to just keep pushing forward. I think our guys, when they're lined up and they're playing aggressive and they're in the proper spot before the ball snap, we give ourselves a chance. We just got to be more consistent in that manner and attack the football and be aggressive. I think all three components really need to play better without question. It's to win conference games, you got to be playing at a high level, and all three components need to play well, offense, even special teams. And unfortunately, we basically spotted them 17 points through some miscues on special teams, and that was hard to overcome. But we did get within 7 with getting ready to go up on 3rd and 25 or something like that, and probably get the ball back in good field position, and we shot ourselves in the foot.
Do you feel like you guys are getting lined up in time? I know when teams go no huddle and they go fast, that presents some problems. But is that an issue that you've seen over the last few games?
Well, we were misaligned on some snaps without question. So a lot of things to get corrected. But like I said, I think special teams has to play solid football and not put us in a jam offensively. Yeah, we did have to play catch up, so to waste a whole lot of time around the ball probably wasn't the original plan. Even though we had been running the ball better, it was time to try to catch up, which we actually gave ourselves a chance doing that. But need to be more physical up front, and everybody's got to do their part. This is a team sport, and right now we're not getting it done.
Do you feel like the team is still connected to one another and to the coaching staff?
Well, I think our team has practiced well every week. I have no question that has happened. I think that they wanted to play a great game of football. I think they are excited about the next opportunity in the next game, and they don't want the season to end, and they want to continue to compete and find ways to get better. They understand we're going through a little adversity now, and things haven't gone our way, which is our fault. But you know what? That's part of football, and we've got to fight through it. And I haven't seen 1 inch of less fight from our team. So we just got to do the small things much better, not have costly penalties, execute at a higher level, and find a way to be in the game. And this week will be the toughest team we play all year. So we have to play better, and we have to come ready to compete, and we have to bring the same fight in order to give ourselves a chance to win.
Just Antonio Stevens went down with that injury. Just kind of what's his update, and kind of what did happen to him on that play?
Well, him and someone from the other team were kind of tasseling at the end of the play, being blocked and going back and forth on that. And unfortunately, he got twisted in a way that was not good, and he hurt his knee, and he hurt it. It's a pretty severe injury. So we've got to, make sure we get all the test results back and figure out the best timeline for surgery. But he's going to have surgery here soon, and we're going to have to do an extensive repair.
Just from an outsider's perspective, it seems like Rondell Moore and David Bell, they've caught a lot of passes, but there's not a lot of big plays that's coming with those passes. Now, David did have the 89-yard touchdown catch on Saturday, but are defenses doing some different things, or are they just preventing some yards after the catch that maybe they were able to get earlier in the year?
Well, I think, defensively, they know who our two best players are, and they're going to line up guys over top of them. They're going to have help over the top. When you're down 17-0 early on as well, they're going to play the pass even more. So, you've got to continue to have a little bit of balance. You got to find ways to get them the ball. And, if you just take a bunch of shots down the field and don't hit them, well, then the ball's going back to the other team. So, we've been able to get them the ball. But at the same time, the more balance we have, the more we're able to distribute to other guys, the better we'll be. But they definitely know where those two guys are. And whether it's a bracket, a safety over the top, or walking a nickel linebacker or linebacker right over top the slot receiver, that's going to happen a lot to us when you have those type of guys. So other guys got to step up and make plays. Our quarterback has to be able to scramble and make plays when it's not there. And we've got to, protect as long as we can in somewhat obvious passing situations throughout the game.
Why is your kickoff return team with TJ having some success the last couple of weeks?
Well, that's been a positive. I know we've had a lot of very costly negative things happen on special teams, and without question, those have to be fixed. There have been some positives, and that has definitely been one of them. We've found ways to get yards. TJ's running the ball harder and better. We've blocked well on the kickoff return team. So that has been a plus, and I think TJ has gained some confidence doing that as well. So there are some positives, some pluses throughout this, but we've got to just get the negative things corrected, because those are the ones that are hurting us.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, Tom.
Hey, Jeff, can you let us know how come Jalen Graham didn't play Saturday?
Well, as you know, there's things going on in the world with sickness things, so I can't reveal what's going on, but he's gonna be out with some issues because of that.
Okay. And just talk real quick. I mean, how frustrating has this season been for you? It's got to drive you crazy to try to dig yourself out of a 4-game losing streak. Just sort of talk to maybe some of the frustrations here you're trying to fight through.
Well, anytime you don't win, it's going to be frustrating. And, we've won some games here before and lost before. And, we're on a streak now that we got to try to snap out of. But, when you play in the Big Ten, you've got to play at a high level each and every week to win. We have not done the small things in some of these games to give ourselves a chance. And we've dug ourselves in some holes, and we've had some big miscues that have hurt us. I do like the fact that our guys have been playing hard. They've been practicing well. We've had a chance in every game to win, but we haven't done all of us haven't done our part to the level that we need to in order to win close football games. So those are the things you got to learn from. You got to identify them. You can't shy away from them. You can't hide from them. And we've got to continue to fight through it.
How can you clean up the issue with the penalties, Jeff? 11 of them on Saturday. Again, that had to surprise you, right?
Well, we had quite a few holding calls on our offensive line. And, we've been pretty good with that this year. But there's really two guys that had a lot of holding calls. And, when you're in passing situations, you got to be able to set the thing up and be physical and firm and not think that you have to hold to make the block. And that's what happened on a few of these plays. And it was costly. We had a big 50-yard play negated and another about 25-yard play negated. And one took us down to the 2-yard line on plays like that. We had a false start on offense one time that, we had the first down easy that set us back. We had an offsides on defense. And then really from there, we had the 3 15-yard penalties on defense. And those are the ones that can't ever happen. And, occasionally one may slide through every now and then, but we had 3 very costly ones on that side of the ball and those are hard to overcome. And of course, one of them was a situation where, it's going to be a third and 25, and we were going to get the ball in good field position.
And, if you look at your guys' score by quarters, Jeff, it's pretty even in the second, third, and fourth, but you guys are getting outscored 51-34 in the first quarter. Just talk about the struggles, I guess, to come out of the gate with some energy and some production.
Well, I have been disappointed with the way we've started at times, and even the second half allowing them to score has been disappointing. We've got to come out and get stops. And when a team gets the ball at the start of the second half and gets a touchdown, they gain some momentum. And one game we answered it, and then they returned a kickoff for a touchdown. So we continue to allow some big plays to happen. And once again, it's one of those details that have to be fixed and corrected. And we've got to toughen it up and find ways to get stops and get off the field and find ways to execute in every segment of the game.
Who's going to punt this week?
Well, once again, we're going to have some competition. Brooks missed some practice time last week. So we went with Karatzi, who punted best during the week of practice. Unfortunately, it really wasn't his fault on the first one. He got it off in quicker than we've gotten off punts. We just didn't block a guy coming right up the middle. So that kind of, ruined his one opportunity there. So then we went with Zach, and we got to get better there. We've got to punt the ball farther. We've got to get more yards on our kicks. And then, Brooks, hopefully we can get him back fully healthy this week, and he can go out there and punt the ball the way we see him punt in practice at times. So we're going to work hard at it. But Brooks, unless something happens injury-wise or COVID-wise, should be up for the challenge with others rotating in if he's not getting the job done.
And last question for me, Jeff. You said after the game you did give pause to maybe changing quarterbacks during the course of Saturday's game. Given the struggles of the rushing attack, would you consider maybe giving Austin Burton some look on Saturday?
Well, I wouldn't do it just based on the rushing attack. I think Austin has done a good job. Anything to get us momentum, we want to do. And yeah, it's definitely not out of the realm to play two quarterbacks in the next game.
Thank you, Jeff.
Okay, Dakota.
Yeah, hey, Coach, you kind of talked about you're still seeing fight from your team, but can you kind of talk about maybe the sense of urgency to snap this losing streak, especially in a rivalry week? I know you got this game and one more coming up, but can you kind of talk about the sense of urgency of your team to get out of this losing streak, especially against a really tough opponent on the road?
Well, every week's urgent, and every situation's urgent for us. And, playing our rival and probably one of the hottest teams in the conference is going to be a challenge. So what I want to see is I want to see guys compete hard during the week of practice. I want to see us as coaches and players put in the work, identify the problems, and find ways to go out there and play better. Then I want to see us, when we go on the field, compete our tails off for 60 minutes as hard as we can. And I don't want our players looking at the scoreboard. As soon as you start to do that and you worry about the end result, mostly, you're not going to play as well. So we're at our best when we just play our tails off as hard as we can, regardless of the score. Show that we have fight, show that we want to win, show that we want to compete, show that when the game's over, we'd like to play even longer. And that's what we want to see from our team. And obviously wins and losses are very important, and we want to try to win every game we can. But I do want to see our guys compete and play hard and show fight and want to compete in a rivalry game where we got an opportunity to play a great football team that's playing very well right now.
For you, what have you seen out of Tuttle, the backup quarterback for them? I know he's only played in one game, but obviously they won, on the road against Wisconsin. So what have you seen out of him and how he kind of gets their offense moving?
Well, their score was 14-6, so they had a tremendous game on defense, not allowing Wisconsin to score. That's how they build their team, and they've done a great job with it. On offense, they've been able to distribute to their two main receivers, who are outstanding playmakers. They have a solid tight end and a big, solid running back. And at the quarterback position, they've had to bring in their backup, and he managed the game well. He took care of the football. He, didn't hurt their team. And, I think every team has certain identities. You got to build around it. And right now, their quarterback has to take care of the ball and just distribute it out. And he's done a good job of that. So they're very good at what they do. And we're going to have to find ways to beat them because they're not going to beat themselves.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, Alex?
No questions for me today. Thank you.
Okay, does anybody else have anything? Brian, you're good? Everybody else good? All right, thank you all very
One
much.
quick question.
Okay.
Just talk about the rivalry game. It's the Bucket against IU. Obviously, it's not going to be the same with the lack of atmosphere down there, but it's still got to be special and exciting for the players, though, to have that game compete for a trophy of some kind.
Well, we're excited to get back on the field and play a very good football team that's playing well on their home turf. The Bucket means a lot to us as a team and as a fan base. And we want to work hard to go out there and try to win the game. And I want to see, coaches and players that want to compete and show some fight and that want to do everything in our power to get the Bucket and bring it back to West Lafayette. So I think it's important to have a great week of practice, put in the work, build up the inner anger so that when you take the field, you're ready to compete and fight, for a win.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you all very much. Talk to you tomorrow.